This here is Boom Studios Go-Go Power Rangers comic, issue number 3.
So, we begin 6 years before Arrival Day and a younger Billy is playing with Eugene. If you're a true Power Rangers fan, you can probably see where this is going. But my first question is, if this is 6 years before Arrival Day, would Billy and Eugene really be playing the sort of game they're playing here? I'm not so sure. Billy mentions lava sand as they come to the end of playing the game, and then Eugene's brother comes along telling him to come home for pizza. Billy instead invites Eugene to his house for dinner because Eugene is his best friend. Together the duo are known as Skull and Bones. Now it's Arrival Day, +7. Billy is at the school, and as he opens his locker, something resembling sand pours out of it. Bulk and Skull are responsible, and Billy says, "Least it's not lava sand." Skull knows exactly what he's talking about. Yes, Eugene and Skull are the same person. So somehow Skull went from being a friend to bully. This is a very interesting spin on Billy and Skull's childhood. All the Rangers are sat in the stands of the football field, and due to the modern setting of the series, the Rangers talk about social media, how the Ranger fan club has 3,000 followers, whereas Zach has just 72. And Kimberly being Kimberly, she has some Ranger selfies which she's unable to share with the world. There's even a fake Yellow Ranger account auctioning a date to the highest bidder, which is currently at $2,000. Trini doesn't find that funny. Then Matthew appears, and the Rangers stop talking about their Ranger lives. Zach lies and says he was telling one of his stupid jokes, and Billy said it was about boobs. Whilst it kind of makes sense for Billy to say that as he's the most socially awkward, it also kind of doesn't make sense because he should be more sensible than that. So Matthew mentions something called Angel Day, which is happening the next day, and all the Rangers, including Matthew, will be there. Next, we're at a diner, and Finster's creation from the last issue is here, searching for the Power Rangers. His creation looks like a beautiful woman, and she mentions Regda 2 and Tarmac 3, referencing the planets which were assumed conquered by Rita in I Guy and Happy Birthday Zach respectively in the original TV series. This woman demands a group of young guys to tell her where Jason, Zach, Kimberly, Billy and Trini are. They have no idea who she's on about, so they throw fries at her. This results in her flipping the table and breaking the window as she leaves. She is in contact with Rita, and we get a glimpse of her true evilness as she recalls wanting a pet dragon when she was a child, just like her older brothers. Even though his name isn't mentioned, she's obviously referring to Rito. Anyway, her father, again not named but obviously referring to Master Vile, thought she was too young. So she stole the food Rito left for the dragon on a daily basis until it got so hungry and bit Rito. The next day the dragon was gone. Goldar said he would have simply killed the dragon. But Rita's logic was by killing the owner's pets, they'd simply get new ones. She wanted to turn the dragon on the master, so both will be destroyed, referring to the way she manipulated the dragon against Rito, but also what she intends to do to the Power Rangers. Now, in the TV show, Rito mentioned in Ninja Quest that his parents got Rita a fire-breathing dragon, when she really wanted a little planet, so she used the dragon to burn the house down. So the story Rita talked about in the comic is kind of a reference to the events in the TV show, but contradictory at the same time. Unless perhaps she got the dragon after Rito's dragon was gone, by which time she was no longer interested in a dragon. Next, Jason and Trini are sparring again while morphed. Trini says she's still getting used to the heads-up display, alluding to the Iron Man-like display in the main comic inside her helmet. Jason is thinking of bringing the other Rangers out there, but Trini appears she wants to be alone with Jason more. He also says it's the first week of the month, and Trini seems shocked for some reason. Then we see Zach and Matthew throwing a football around on the field. Matthew already knows something is going on because when he approaches the Rangers, everyone starts whispering and keeping secrets. Zach tries to assure him that everything's cool, but Matthew still thinks everyone is in on a secret except him. Now we're at the youth centre and Jason is teaching a karate class. So the class motto is pick your nose, not a fight. First of all, that's gross. And second, I can't actually see the Jason from the TV show say that to a class. Ernie then shows up and even he says Jason is a weird teacher. Anyway, Ernie says he has to close down the youth centre. The reason being is that 6 staff members left Angel Grove since arrival day. No staff means no classes. No classes mean no profit, which means no youth centre. We then go over to Kimberly and Trini at the bar, which, by the way, is drawn very accurately to what was depicted in the TV show. So it turns out Trini freaked out when Jason mentioned it was the first week of the month, because she forgot it was her mother's birthday. She was so occupied with setting up this Angel Day thing that she forgot all about it. Kimberly says it's not her fault because their ranger duties don't leave a lot of room for the people they care about. Moving on, it's Angel Day and people are out clearing up the mess caused by the Rangers' first Megazord battle. Ernie shows up with drinks and even the cups are Ranger themed. Billy is talking to a reporter when suddenly dirt is poured onto him. It's Bulk and Skull again and Trini stands up for Billy. He calls them troglodytes and Bulk begins marching over to Billy, but then Jason grabs onto Bulk's spade. Bulk tries to yank the spade out of Jason's grip, but Jason lets go entirely and Bulk lands in the dirt. That's when Principal Kaplan comes over telling them to stop. They're not in school so he can't hand out detention, so he tells Jason and Bulk to follow him somewhere where they can't hurt one another. Skull tells Billy they're just messing around. He responds by telling him that they make every day of his life a living hell. When he asks Skull if it's because he's smarter than him, Skull tells him it's because he always acted like he was. Finster's creation is down at the site as well, and here's Ernie offering Power Ranger smoothies. This grabs her attention, so she asks Ernie for their whereabouts. Ernie says the way they fought for the city means they've got to be locals, and they only show up when bad things happen. So with all that information at hand, she calls on Rita to summon her brothers and sisters. That's when putties descend from the sky. Sure, this is a nice shot, but why are they falling from the sky? The putties were teleported down in the TV show. Jason is with Principal Kaplan and Bulk, so he can't morph. Kimberly is with Matthew, so there's no chance of that happening either. That just leaves Billy, Trini and Zack to morph into action. The Rangers take on the putties, attacking the police officers. The Rangers have more confidence fighting the putties now, following Arrival Day, and the battle on the moon. Trini says one-on-one the putties aren't really tough, but Billy says it could turn into 1 on 100. Trini then says she's starting to enjoy this, and Billy responds with yippee. Once again, this just seems out of character for Billy. Principal Kaplan gets civilians inside a building to take cover. Jason wants to help the other Rangers, but Principal Kaplan brings him inside as well. Kimberly and Matthew are still outside trying to find the others when something comes smashing down in front of them. It's Rita's monster, and it begins chasing after Kimberly and Matthew. Kimberly falls to the ground and is seemingly hurt. Matthew then stands in the way of the monster and Kimberly telling the Roger Corman reject to stay back. Another popular culture reference thrown in, but I'm not sure why it had to be Roger Corman other than this being like a movie. Matthew tries to be the hero even though Kimberly wants him to go, obviously so she can morph. But he stays and gets knocked away by the monster. He goes flying through a wall with Kimberly terrified and not knowing what to do. That's where this issue finishes. I found the early Billy and Skull friendship odd, but it is an interesting backstory, so I would like to see exactly what happened to make them become enemies. I'm puzzled as to what Finster's monster actually is. Last issue I thought it was a human putty thing. This issue we saw the human side. Now we get this big beast. Are they one and the same? And if so, what's it meant to be? It's just more stuff I'm looking forward to in the coming issues. A lot happens in this comic, so I imagine it will take a long time to get all the answers, and to see all the backstories flesh out the characters.